Welcome to Fistball Production. My name is Suren. Today I want to talk to you about how I did my brake line on an Iron 883 ABS equipped motorcycle. This is a Harley Davidson Iron 883 and ABS equipped. Like I said, there are tons of videos on YouTube about how to bleed brakes on a non-ABS motorcycle, but this is an ABS equipped motorcycle, which meant that the bleeding the brakes on this thing is just slightly trickier, but it should not be. Once you understand the concept of how bubbles work, which it always floats to the top, and once you understand a little bit about gravity, the brake bleeding is not as difficult. And hopefully I can talk you through how I did that today. Again, when I swapped my handlebar from a much shorter stock handlebar to this, I actually had to swap the whole line. So the clutch cable, the brake line, the throttle cable, all of those had to be swapped. And when I did that, this was an empty line, meaning there was no liquid in it, right? So that meant that it was a dry system. And when it's a dry system, you have a tendency to trap bubbles in. And I will talk you through how I made sure that I did not trap the bubbles in, and most importantly, I did not mess up the ABS unit on this motorcycle. To make sure, start right here. This is where it starts again. For the front brakes, at least, this is where it starts, and then follow the line, right? And then to the junction right here. This little piece right here acts as a junction. From this point, one piece of it actually goes down to the front brake, and then the other piece actually ends up going all the way to the ABS unit on the back, right? And then everything here actually makes it a closed system, as you can imagine, right? Everything right here makes it a closed system, so no air should get back into the system if you have done this right. And I checked. Even after I put the whole thing together, I checked a number of times, throughout the week to make sure that nothing was leaking. And once I confirmed that, once I was done, I kept checking here, all these joints, right? Like anywhere the lines connect, I made sure that nothing was leaking. So right here, and then also right here, right? Also right here, it can leak from here as well. So I kept checking all of those places where these things comes together to make sure that nothing was leaking. The brake bleeding part, I started with a reverse bleeding, which is adding oil from here and then up the line. Because this was an empty line, I figured that would be more effective to begin with. So start adding oil from here and then feed the line. And when I did that, there was still plenty of air pockets in the system. So I had this thing right on the top open right here, and every time I hit the brakes, like I just did that, I would see bubbles pop up here. I would see bubbles form here. So in order to make sure that all those bubbles got out of the system, what I ended up doing is actually feeding the oil from the top, as opposed to reverse bleeding. I did the regular bleed, which is add oil from the reservoir and then empty it out from here. And there's a little bit of sequence that you need to follow. So you can't have this thing open while you release the brake, because when you're releasing the brake and you actually have this open, it can suck air into the system, and that's the last thing you want, right? So it is important that you take time, follow the sequence, and if you do that, then it's just a matter of time before you empty all the air pockets out, and then then you have a complete airtight system, and you close everything out, and you are good to go. The other thing that I did when I was all done is I actually tied the brake like this. I used a string to tie the brake like that, and I did that for a few nights in a row. Like anytime I was not riding, I actually would tie this thing like that, and then that also helps make sure that any air that is trapped in the system eventually gets out through the reservoir. again, the idea here is that because air likes to float, right? Bubbles or pockets of air that is in the system like to float up. So you will, like, even though this was exposed because I had to connect to a new system right here, any air pocket that may have been on the tip is not going to go down, of course, right? You have to understand that it's not going to go down unless someone presses it in. And even when you press it in, eventually that bubble will go upwards because that's what bubbles do. So in order to help the bubbles, get to the top reservoir quicker or exit the system, I actually tapped the line to it while I was doing it, just to agitate the bubbles a little bit to release from the internal surfaces, like the interior surfaces of the line, just to release that from that and then actually help it exit the system. So you can tap the system, or I think I saw someone actually kind of rub metal against it to make sure that that bubble goes up the system. The brake oil is hygroscopic. The brake oil actually over time can absorb water. So when I worked on it, I wanted to be quick and without spending a lot of time with the oil exposed to just the moisture in the garage or moisture in the air. So that's the part that I wanted to, but I think that's less of a concern for me. The concern was how not to introduce bubble in the system, causing the ABS system to trip up. But I was successfully able to do that by making sure that I connected all the pieces together, understand that the bubbles always float to the top. Take your time doing the work, and again, reverse bleed, and then followed by regular bleed from the top. Let gravity do the work. Let bubbles follow the laws of physics and boil up to the top, or bubble up to the top, and understand that gravity is your good friend here. So when you bleed the system from the top to the bottom, you actually can get things done a little faster. And I actually also made sure to bleed the rear brake because I was working on the front brake. I decided to bleed the rear brakes as well. That one was a lot simpler, considering that was a brake. I did not have to change the brake line. The front brakes were really the part that was the trickiest for me when working on this. So that's what I wanted to talk about, guys. If you are new to this channel, thank you for your time. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and if you did, subscribe to the channel and give me a thumbs up. If you have any concerns that you are while bleeding your brakes, if you had any concerns, or if you have any concerns, just comment below and I'll respond to your comments. If you don't mind me asking, hit that bell button so you get notified when I post future videos. The comments below. Yep. Let me know in the comments below. Also, hit that bell button so you get notified the next time I post videos.
And don't forget to like and share, and we'll see you in the next video.
That's right.